Hiya, kids and cadets. Welcome back to Tommy Time. We left you off yesterday with this Toro turd. This was a machine I bought for 20 bucks from my delivery scrapper. This one was submerged. He tried to mess with the carburetor, and decided to call it quits. The model 20370. I'll put that down below. So I went ahead and put a HIPAA carb on, which you can see is still dripping like the Niagara Falls. That's why I don't endorse any product. This is what the carb looked like when he took it off. It was all crusted up. So I'd gone through the front wheel drive, oiled up the cables. You kids and I got it to start finally after changing a couple of plugs. I went through 2 Kohler plugs and finally put a Champion plug in it from another machine. And it finally started. This is what was in it. I think the gap was too much. This came out of the Gulf of Mexico Toro machine that was rusted in half. This probably is the right gap, but that didn't help us out. The Champion plug helped us out. So we went to stop it. The kill block here was touching the flywheel, but not grounding out and killing the engine. This here grounds out the coil once this metal composite block touches the flywheel. So I went ahead and did the best I could, scraped all the scaly rust, kind of like a shellac layer here. Hopefully I got enough off where this is going to ground out. The other thing I did was sand the post here and sand the bottom of the coil, so I've got a good ground against the block. Did that, so we just got to put this thing back together. I've got a piece of cardboard, the Arnold handle bolts. This is about as thick as a business card. I'm going to use that as my gauge. So let's start putting this thing back together, and hopefully it'll start and stop this time around. I'll show you the oil. Once it warmed up, I drained the oil out, and it was a McDonald's milkshake like we had seen. So I put some used oil in to run it a second time, get all that leftover water out of the crankcase, and then I'll go with good store-bought Valvoline. So let's move this until I get these almost all the way down. 10 millimeter. Get it kind of close, and then I'll bring up this one here kind of tight, put my Arnold cardboard back into place, push the coil against the cardboard, and just snug these up. See my HIPAA carb still leaking over there. I've never been to Niagara Falls, but this is replicating it. Okay, I'm going to have to loosen these up. I wasn't pushing enough on the coil. There we go. Looked like too much of an air gap. This is better. Yeah. Just like it was before. I see a little metal sliver here between the coil and the crank or flywheel, so I don't like that at all. Making a connection between my air gap. Okay, I just drop my other spacer. So this is going as good as it was before. Where's the other stupid spacer? Mamma mia. Nothing like killing production here. I heard a little tink tink. Where did it go? Bounce on the ground. I'll deal with that later. I'll just deal with two for now. Oh, wait a minute. Can I steal one off of the Gulf? Yeah, I can. There's one left on the Gulf. And that's what I'm using. Losing all my gas. No, but an eighth of a tank, so enough to start this crap box beauty ring. Here we go. So this $20 machine was not the best. It was not better than the rest. So yeah, everything on the coil was hooked up. We gapped it, tightened it all down. I didn't have to do anything else under here. There it is. It was on the kill linkage. I knew I heard a tink tink. Okay, so I had wrapped a string around the plug wire just in case I gotta do an emergency stop if it's not grounding out up here. I've got to stop it some way, and I'm not throwing Clucky under to stop it. Snaky either. Okay, you're there. I'm going to start yanking. Had it running, so I'm hoping we have good luck. 1, 2, 3. Nope. You guys got to help me out. Been through a couple of plugs already. Still dripping like Niagara Falls. Take this plug off and see. What socket was I using? See if it's wet or not. I mean, we're pouring gas out the throat. I do see a little wetness on the plug. Take a brush to this champion. What do you think? Maybe no compression because the rings are rusted? But we had it running. It started out like a hit and miss engine, then it finally built up steam and was running fine. So I knew we had compression, and nothing's changed. So why now? What I may do is direct inject, even though there's a lot of fuel coming out of the carburetor. Maybe there's not a lot being pulled in from that puddle of gas. It's worth a shot. Yeah, the choke is closed. It's just pouring right out of the bottom of the choke. Almost. It kicked off. Right there it did. Why the hell is it doing this? Kicked off. Kicked off. That's weird. Kicked off a few times. Puff, puff. Okay, oil's getting better. It's mixing up with that water. That's what poured out of there. You don't want to see that. So I'm going to get my compression tester. Check down below. I'll put what the compression reading was, because I'm not going to mess with this with you guys. After this is a dead duck. I'll put compression down below. You guys look at that figure and tell me what to look at next. Capiche? Okay, let me just one more time, just for the fun of it. Luck of the Irish. No, Irish were not lucky. You guys have a good day. Appreciate you coming out. Tip you waitress and wait staff. Adios, amigos. Oh, at least it stopped dripping. The HIPAA carb stopped. Oh, I see why. Because all the fuel drained out of the tank, so there was no more gas to drip out. That's why it stopped. It drained out nearly a tank full of gas. Okay, see you guys.